Banger.
What up, boys?
Yo. What up?
All right.
What up?
Welcome
What up?
back.
Beers and
Go.
bets.
We got
Week
Matt back.
18 recap. I am back. I survived.
Yeah, we're oddsing back. We had to, we built a green room
Yep.
in the cloud.
Yep.
So yeah, people they're hanging out in the green room. We got Gramsy in there and Mo just waiting their time, their turn. If we
Yeah.
ever need a guest like that again, but
They'll get another chance.
they did a good job, man.
Yeah.
They did all right.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Football.
So
It's going.
it's been a crazy season. I still don't know if I like or dislike the extra week. I kind of feel like it's throwing some shit for a loop. Like fantasy was one thing. It seemed weirder than most between the extra week and the COVID shit. And then if they're going to do 18 weeks, I'd be in favor of them giving everybody 2 bye weeks. Every team 2 bye weeks. Keep every team fresh. There's too many games where just like I'm seeing, like it seemed like all the noon games were filled with shitty quarterbacks. It was like Gardner Minshew against Jake Fromm and whoever the fuck Washington had left.
That's like the shitty Fiesta Bowl from like 4 years ago or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Where did Minshew go to college?
good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Washington State.
Washington State. Yeah, he's with
And
Mike
then
Leach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, but
I like the extra game though, for real. Because a lot of the injuries you're talking about, they would have happened either way, or teams would sit their team out last week of the season either way. It's just I think weird for us because there's no fantasy relevance, but that's kind of always been the case. The final week.
Yeah, it would have just been
away
week
from
earlier.
It's just right.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. It is
Because I don't
always
think we
lame
saw a
that
ton
last
more
week.
injuries throughout the league because of the extra week.
Oh, we just saw COVID
When it couldn't-
outbreaks like crazy.
Yeah, it couldn't make any difference. You're right. But anyways, let's get into it with that game, the Sunday night football game, Raiders Chargers.
And that
If
terrible Steelers
it ends,
team.
yeah, if
That
it ends in a
terrible,
tie,
shitty, sucky, whatever the
The
fuck
way-
Steelers team. What
the
happened to them?
the way Collinsworth, they are very
Right.
shitty, and you're
Yeah.
going to see how shitty they are next Sunday night.
Okay.
So shitty
All
they
right.
made the playoffs.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, have you watched Roethlisberger play? Even
Yeah, I
yesterday,
watched
he
him
was
yesterday.
fucking shit, dude.
They made
He was
the
terrible.
playoffs. How do you make the playoffs and you're terrible?
Okay, well, you beat a team with a backup quarterback, and you
Ben
have to score
Roethlisberger, or,
13.
Peyton Manning was terrible with the
points to do it.
Broncos, but they won a Super Bowl that year.
Figured it out. I don't know.
You think there's any chance in hell that the Steelers even make it to the championship game?
I didn't feel that confident about the Broncos that year, man. We had started Brock Osweiler like 6 games in a row, and he got I don't remember his record, but it was like 4-2.
Probably won
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah,
He won a
and
few games.
He beat New England at home to get us home field in the playoffs, and then Peyton came back and he threw 2 touchdowns in the first 2 drives. Then after that, I don't know if he moved his arm, dude. I don't know. You
But
never fucking
that
know,
Steelers
man.
team isn't as good as that Broncos team was.
No, I know.
that year.
Yeah, they were built for him. I
Yeah.
get that, but I just like that they made it into the playoffs, dude. That was cool, man. I was like,
Yeah. I'd much rather see, and this is my Monday headline, it's just a shame we don't get to see Justin Herbert get a chance in the
Yeah.
playoffs because he did everything he fucking could
get
last night.
off of Herbert's dick.
no,
That's
dude.
not a good
You
team.
can't-
That is
Yo,
you can't talk
But you
bad
can't
about
put
the
that on
Steelers
Herbert. You
and then
cannot
turn
put that
around.
on Herbert.
Okay, for all the same reasons you're saying Ben is bad. Well, that Steelers team is good.
No, dude,
In
if you
spite of
watch
that.
Big Ben right now and
That-
you watch Herbert right now, you can't even compare the two. It's not even fucking
I-
close,
I-
dude.
In no way was I comparing the two
comparing.
of them.
I'm not
Kinda just
comparing.
did.
No,
Yeah. Tried to.
No, not at all.
No, we
Not
compared
at
the
all.
teams.
You need to
The
listen
teams.
and not get so pissy first.
Yeah.
The teams,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Well,
think, was the
let me hear you
comparison.
out. Go for it.
All I'm saying was where Herbert wins sometimes despite his team, the Steelers win
Despite man.
despite Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're a very good team. They're a very deep team. That O-line's better. I don't know. Yes, Herbert is exciting to watch. For playoffs, it makes no sense to me because that defense can't stop anybody. I mean, they're bottom 3. They're 3rd worst in passing defense, 3rd worst in points a game, bottom 10 in rush. I
Yeah.
mean,
Like most points allowed in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean,
was a stat
they have a
threw
couple
up
big
last
names,
night.
and yeah, Bosa had a cool season. Like 7 forced fumbles, bunch of sacks, but it's him. Then it's Samuel Jr. and Derwin back there. There's nobody else helping them anywhere.
I like that
and no matter what Herbert does, it's like they're gonna have to figure that out. He can't score 50 a game for you every time. He was their second leading rusher. Even Eckler didn't even get 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah,
I just think there's too many holes in that team.
And then Brandon Staley, while I like his aggressiveness, it did cost him games this year. It ended up turning the other way.
I didn't have a problem with the timeout, though.
People were kind of that timeout. That call. Collinsworth kind of gave everybody a bad idea about that timeout because he wasn't calling a timeout like Collinsworth said to try to get the ball back. He was calling a timeout to try to get the team ready on third down or fourth down, whichever one it was, to stop them. Yeah. He was trying to call a timeout to get the defense ready to stop him. It wasn't about stopping the clock.
That was like one of the most epic finishes for like playoff scenarios like ever.
It was
like the tie being can you imagine if he would have that was Carlson though, our boy Matt. We talked about that motherfucker.
I mean, next to Justin Tucker, is there somebody else, another kicker you'd want before Carlson?
Probably not, right? They just re-signed him to that pretty hefty extension mid-season, and it's like he's earning that paycheck right now.
He has, man. He's good, and
I feel like he's been perfect this year. Has he missed a kick in the past 5 weeks?
But it feels like he hasn't.
Okay.
Whenever they needed him to make one, he made. He does it.
He was clutch last night,
and
good for Derrick Carr too, man. Like.
With all the shit they went through.
Exactly, dude. To be able to get that team, the mind right, and their head coach did a great job, I think, too. Whatever that guy, the intern, he did a hell of a job, dude. I was surprised you look at it like 2 months ago, a month and a half ago, whenever, and tell us that fucking the Chargers aren't going to make the playoffs, but the Raiders are. Like, dude, what? Like, no.
Yeah. Chargers and the Colts. But the Raiders and the Steelers are.
The Colts got their own issues, man. JT did what he had to do. I was going to wear the hoodie, but I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, rough week for that one. Yeah.
And a Jonathan Taylor jersey.
I haven't heard anybody else do it yet, but I'll do it. I got to give John Gruden credit because he did prepare that team preseason through the first 6 weeks, however many weeks it was before the emails came out where he got fired.
Yeah.
That team had a rough year, but they had a plan in place to scrap out wins, and they kind of did a little bit of the same last year and just fell short of the playoffs last year.
And I think one of his best quotes that we like is either mentally tough or mentally strong. We are mentally strong, man.
Yeah, and you're either mentally tough or mentally weak.
Mentally weak. Yeah.
We are mentally tough.
Yeah.
I think you have to give some credit to
that's true
to Mayock as well, though. Nobody talks about him, but he was just like another stupid, just talking head at NFL Network not too many years ago.
Yeah,
and he is not hit on many first round picks, but clearly he's done something right.
Fifth round pick, right?
But that's my point. He doesn't know what to do with the early picks, but he finds these diamonds in the rough. He's put together a good roster between him and Gruden. But I think he gets some of the praise too. I think.
So going into free agency, I'm not sure on Carr's contract, but would you take? I don't even think I have to ask Matt this one, but to me it's close. Kirk Cousins or Derek Carr?
I like Derek Carr a lot more. I just think he's more of a winner. Like he's more of a leader. He's more of a leader too.
He's got that edge.
And with how this season went, if you're the Raiders, how do you not bring Carr back and just try to make the team better around him?
You have to.
You
have to, dude.
But back to Herbert, I'm gonna go a little bit too far here, but I have to ask: the next 8 or 10 years, Justin Herbert or Josh Allen? Is it an easy answer? Allen. It's an easy answer for you, Brad.
Easy. Yep.
Yeah. Is that just based on his running ability or what? I like the way Herbert throws the ball much better.
I think Herbert's always had weapons. Josh Allen kind of had to find his way with nobody at receiver. When he came into the league, I mean, yes, he has Diggs now, but you see what he's kind of turned Knox into in the red zone. Emmanuel Sanders is looking young again up there. It's just Josh Allen's done it without talent. I don't think Justin Herbert could do that.
I mean, but the Chargers, it's not like they're a crazy amount of talent like the Bucks or something.
Probably have one of the top 10 wide receiver duos in the league in Williams and Keenan Allen. I mean, they're both pretty good. They both get drafted.
Yeah. They're in the top half of like offensive targets, offensive weapons. They're in the top half, and they're probably closer to the top 10 than just the top half.
Renfro and Waller are a little ahead just because.
Yeah, I don't know if they cracked that mix yet,
but
it's getting close.
They got him by a hair, man.
What about you, Jimmy? Like, where do you stand on Herbert?
I think that's a tight one, dude. I actually watching him play last night, I was fucking impressed as hell. He looked actually really. I knew he was good. I know that, but he just looked like. He's one of those dudes where he's out in the field and you don't think it's over if he's on your team. And I don't know.
And he was getting beat up. He was getting sacked or pressured on damn near every drop back.
Who was the quarterback that you were comparing it to? Like who was
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Oh, Allen. Yeah. See, in a big game, I think I actually trust Herbert. Like, and right now, dude, because Josh Allen will pull some dumb shit still, and I haven't seen Herbert really do that. I haven't watched him as much because he hasn't been in any big games.
Yeah, really. I mean, he had one throw last night where he was hurried and threw a pick, threw one up for grabs, and it got picked. But
I just mean with Josh Allen, like the weird shit. Like you remember that game where he fumbled it? I think we played each other
running backwards. Yeah,
no, but we played each other in fantasy, and he almost scored a touchdown.
He tries to do too much.
And he fumbled it out of bounds or something. It was. And the margin of victory between our game was like 1 point. It was earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But it was Josh Allen had like a weird fuck up kind of deal. And there's like just things that he does that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I think I would take Kyler. I would take Herbert over Kyler for the next 8 years.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna make it.
What's another
guy seems to break down?
Yeah. What's another? The one that's tough is like the Herbert or Burrow question, because I love them both for one, but two, like Herbert's got all the talent, but Burrow has all like those intangibles, and just like Burrow kind of reminds you of like Brady, just doing all the little things right and being more like calculated instead of like some crazy athletic or arm talent QB, you know?
Yeah.
So
and
they're both good though. That's probably a good comp, like two that will have similar careers, I would have to guess.
Yeah. You'd figure, I mean, from the rookie quarterbacks we've seen from the last like 2 to 4 years, Herbert and Burrow like stand out above a lot of these other guys to me.
Yeah. I mean, Baker's right up there, but yeah. For some
what about I read something that said the Browns are going to bring Baker back next year. What? That can't be true, right? The Browns are so set everywhere else. Why would you want to roll with that?
It depends what money he's willing to take. If he's willing to, take a team-friendly deal and they can keep building up the defense around him, you'd think about it. Yeah. Sometimes
I'll tell you, Matt, I would hope, well, I guess, so what's Jameis's contract look like down there?
He's free agent.
I think it was a 1-year deal for Jameis, so he's open.
I'm telling you, man, if he can turn Taysom Hill into a good court, that would be an interesting pickup if he went down to New Orleans, man. Because Sean Payton can make a quarterback, dude.
You're saying Baker going to New Orleans.
Or Baker, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah. If he went down there,
I don't think they
started thinking of around the league where who needs a quarterback. Obviously Denver does, but I don't want we don't need that headache. We already I mean, I love Bridgewater, but
I think I've seen enough from Baker. He does, like, again, you bring up the points, like he doesn't have outstanding weapons. It's totally true. I've just seen too many mistakes to really think the guy's going to be a good starter.
I think Cleveland brings him back though. Just from what you hear, what you read, it just seems that they're not going to move on from him.
Well,
I
don't think the Saints are gonna want to let Jameis go anywhere. I think they want him back.
Yeah, I would too, man.
God.
Peyton has had him now.
You should hope they
had
want
him for
back,
multiple
Matt.
years.
I want the Bucks to bring Jameis back, so when Brady ever calls it quits, we got
Jameis. Blaine
Gabbert.
You're set.
I don't think Bruce Arians is gonna. Yeah, he's not having that. Did you hear what he said about if Brady doesn't make or win MVP this year? He said that it's a travesty if Brady doesn't win the MVP.
Has he watched the other games?
Yeah, right. I'm like, have you watched
Rodgers did more with less, right?
You know,
Rodgers did more with less.
Like his whiskey a lot. He likes his whiskey. So he might just watch the games and then, if Packers are playing later, he's already hitting the sauce.
It could have been out of context, like it was just, but it was like
possible,
a quote on an article. It was like the tagline or whatever the fuck you call it.
Okay, so that's enough of like Herbert and wrapping up that Sunday night football. Jimmy, what do you got? Monday headline. What are you excited to talk about?
Spoke on it yesterday, right when it happened. Finally, Matt, they got rid of Fangio, which is fucking
Fanny pack Fangio.
Fanny pack
Good riddance, man.
Thank God. I don't even want to cheers to him, but get lost, man. I'm sorry for his family because it is shitty. Like, his defense had come along a little bit, but
he's probably making like $5 million, $6 million.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay.
Right. Yeah.
Coordinator face. He couldn't overcome it.
Chicago's gonna hire him. Wouldn't that be
that would be so bad if you're a Bears fan. Oh my God.
Like, all right, we got a saving grace because this guy, dude. Yeah. No, but yeah, so I'm looking at, I was really shocked that, and you told me this before I found it out, that Flores
is available.
Is out. Yeah, he got fired by Miami.
Boy, Robert Flores.
Yeah,
ESPN let him go.
I don't know why they got rid. I don't really get that, dude, but fuck, he's got to be at the top of everyone's list right now, right? I mean, there's been rumors of Dan Quinn, but I'm not really a fan of getting to the.
Yeah, you don't want that. No,
dude, he was one, and then Flores, and I'm trying. Oh,
well, the two that I saw tied to the Broncos immediately were, like I predicted, the enemy. The Broncos they've already asked permission to interview him, and then also the offensive coordinator for the Packers. I like the fact that they're looking offense now.
I like the fact that they're looking Packers,
you know what I mean?
Man.
I love Flores.
Packers,
I respect Flores, but I don't know if they want to go another defensive-minded head coach after what they just kind of went through with Fangio.
That's what my worry is with it, dude. And it sucks because I love the dude, and
And I think Fangio might have a better spot somewhere that he likes more potentially too.
Yeah,
you meant Flores might have a better spot.
Flores. Sorry, I said Fangio. With the quarterback kind of unrest.
I wonder what his pick would be. Like, I really feel that, but I wonder
because I think there's still more coaches to go. I could see Flores ending up in Miami or in Minnesota with the Vikings.
Be a pretty good fit.
That'd
be a pretty good fit.
That could work, but
dude,
I think you're in a great spot. That's when they fired him early. I thought that's the smartest thing you can do. You get a little ahead of these other teams. Yeah, I told him Fangio passed away in a plane crash.
Dude, I get on the headset.
Probably wasn't the best.
I was like, whoa, because we were doing shit before Red Zone on the mic, and I'm like, yeah. He goes, I reacted to something. He was like, oh, yeah, you saw Fangio? And I was like, wait, no, what? What about Fangio? Because I just woke up. He's like, yeah, dude, he got in the plane crash and died. And I was like, I felt horrible. You know what I'm saying? Because I talked so much shit on the fucking guy. But I'm like, what the fuck? But
it all worked out.
Yeah. Whatever we got to do to get rid of him. If it's a plane crash, whatever it takes, man.
The plane got him out of Denver, and that's all I needed to hear. So
exactly.
But another thing I got to bring up from that Broncos Chiefs game, because the Broncos had a legit chance to win that game. They were winning for more than half the game.
They had a good
lot of those this year, man.
On that, and Drew Lock, I'm going to make fun of Drew Lock in a second, but he had the best game I've seen him play. But when Melvin Gordon fumbles that ball, Drew Lock's tackle attempt.
Oh God! Don't even.
He's like he's hoping the person who picked up the fumble comes and hugs him back. Like Drew Lock is kind of reaching out for a tackle, like, "Oh, come hug me." It was just if you watch the replay again, I promise you're gonna see it.
I'd prefer. Yeah, I'm good.
Drew Lock, you fucking pussy.
Well, and also that play is on Drew Lock, Matt, because when he gets to the line, he has to see that pressure off the edge.
Yeah,
and he didn't check or audible anything.
I don't think he knows how to check plays.
I don't think he knows how to read.
You
know what I'm saying, dude? There's a lot of issues with him.
He's physically talented, but between the ears, he is not a starting quarterback. No way.
No, dude. He just gets, and it sucks because he seems to care, or he's really good at rapping.
He pretends to care.
Yeah. Well, it seems but it doesn't seem like people hate him. He seems to be well liked on the sideline.
The team went all and hugged the shit out of him when he ran those
yesterday.
And he was competing, dude. It's what he wanted. And yeah, man, it was just
he'll be a solid back.
Matt, and you bring that
up. He
is
is what he is.
He brought it up like the thing of the game, and it's like, dude, that's what we had all year, though. They were all good games that we could have won, and we didn't win, dude. So
at least yesterday, or not yesterday, but Saturday, they were aggressive. They called some trick plays.
Yeah, we were having.
They're usually kind of a boring team to watch.
Yeah.
They stay too simple and plain on offense.
So I tell you,
we've brought that up before as well too. That they're too boring and passive early.
Yeah.
The Broncos.
And then they realize it's the second half, and we're down by like 10, and then we can't come back because we've never done it, so we don't know how.
Yeah. So, Brad, what do you got? Monday headline.
I mean, you brought up how, it's a shame Herbert's not in the playoffs. I'm still kind of shocked the Colts are not in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That
amazing, dude.
Shit the bed.
Just the way it all felt out to lose to Vegas last week and then completely shit the bed. I mean, they haven't won in Jacksonville or London, which is like, Jacksonville's second home since 2014.
That's crazy.
I mean, I think Colts could be a team. I know Frank Wright, he loves Carson, but when they needed him, he's a mess, man. He took 6 sacks. He held onto the ball way too long.
But they fuck around to get Russell Wilson, man.
It's too bad they wasted a kind of historic season from Taylor.
Yeah, they did, man.
Because if you look at the offense, there's a clear lack of weapons outside of Taylor. Yeah. And then defensively, like, they can't get a pass rush.
Here's the other thing, too, is since Carson Wentz started all these games, the Eagles get another first-round pick from the Colts.
The conditional pick.
So they missed the playoffs with Wentz and then have to give up another pick, first-round pick, because he started most of the year.
Well, did you hear, too?
It was a conditional trade.
Yeah, it was one of those conditionals where it like a 2 became a 1 or whatever it was.
Dude, yeah. I mean, that was just so bad. Who beat the Jags?
The Jaguars. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, and it was a blowout too. It wasn't even like it came down to the wire.
The Jacksonville fans were so pissed off that they haven't fired the GM that they showed up. It's like the owner's name is Shad Khan. And so
I know him. He's got a crazy mustache.
They all dressed up in clown costumes for Khan. And like just trying to make fun of shit. And then for them to come out and play like that, it's just kind of funny.
Yeah.
I think Darius Leonard talked shit at the wrong time. He even was quoted earlier in the week, like, we can leave the offense at home this week. We're looking for a shutout. It's like, you don't, it's the NFL. You shouldn't.
Yeah.
Dude, how did they, man, how the fuck?
How do you get blown out by the Jags when they just lost like 50-10 to the Patriots a week ago?
Trevor Lawrence looked great.
Man.
Yeah.
Didn't the Patriots?
They beat them like 50-10?
Did Indy beat the Patriots? The Patriots though.
Like, Indy did beat the Patriots. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor sealed it with like a 70-yard run.
So what the fuck, man? Are you kidding me, dude?
Yep.
Like, it makes no sense. Dude.
They beat Indy, beat the Patriots. Indy beat a number of good teams this year. They just choked when it finally counted.
Yeah.
I brought that up a few weeks ago too, though, when I said the Colts aren't going to make the playoffs because of what happened early in the season. Like, it has nothing to do with how good of a team they are. Just that early season shit's going to bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
And you saw with the COVID stuff and everything else that hit.
Because you're right. We talked as recently as like 2-3 weeks ago that like the Colts might be one of the more dangerous teams in the AFC because they kind of have the balance. They have the defense.
Which I think
and then they lose to the Jags.
And this is a perfect way. Yeah, because which shows you the parity in the league and some of these really good teams aren't in. But the real good teams are in. And which one of those?
Don't say the Steelers here.
Oh, yeah, buddy. No. Because, hey, if you make it, you made it. What do you always
what the
me?
Fuck does that show? That you made the playoffs.
You always tell me you are what your record says you are. You are where, you know what I mean? And that,
9-8-1 isn't a good record.
It's better than
the Dolphins share the same record.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. That's unfortunate, man. I don't know what to tell you.
We'll see how good of a team they are next Sunday night. It's not going to be a close game.
That's why that dumbass "you are what your record says you are" thing makes no sense. But you always use it. You'll say it to me, so I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna fire back with this one.
Well,
but then it makes absolutely no sense.
I wouldn't be so proud about 9-8-1, especially when you tied the Lions in your one tie.
What'd you say Seattle was that year?
7-9 when they won the NFC West.
Yeah, and then they beat the Saints in a playoff game.
Yeah, and then I think they got trashed in the next round. But
after they lost, or they got beat really bad.
They got beat really bad after winning that game against the Saints.
I didn't know if he meant like they went out and partied. They got trashed.
Yeah, I'm sure they did that too, man. Marshawn was on the team. I'm sure they were having fun.
Yeah.
But so we got time here. I'm going to recap our preseason Super Bowl picks. All right. So this is before week 1 of the NFL season. Our Super Bowl picks. I had the Chiefs and the Bucks. I had a Super Bowl rematch. Jimmy, you had the Bills and Packers still in play. Brad, you had the Ravens and Packers.
Oh.
So, but, props to us because on all of our guesses, 5 out of 6 of these teams are at least still available and like good contenders, right? Out of all, we each picked 2 teams. 5 of the 6 are still legit chances. So I want us to have an opportunity to give like a pre-playoff pick for the Super Bowl. And I have Packers here written down, but I just can't fucking do it. So I'm sticking to Chiefs Bucks. I cannot pick against the Bucks, my team, before they have been eliminated. I can't. This is a hard pick. My brain picked Packers on paper, but I need to switch to Chiefs Bucks. I can't. These colors don't run, man. I can't pick the Packers to go to the Super Bowl quite yet.
Change color. They change uniforms every fucking year. What do you mean they don't run?
They don't. They made a mistake. They made a mistake. Whoever fucking changed those uniforms.
They're fucking up.
I never bought one of those shitty alarm clock uniforms because they were awful to look at, man.
The Buccaneers fuck up washing machines all over Tampa Bay area because there's 40 different shades of red. They got them dumb fucking, like you said, the alarm clock ones with the big whatever the hell.
Yeah, that was terrible, man.
You got the orange ones.
They're not allowed to wear the orange ones right now. Next year, though, because you're only allowed to wear one color helmet.
Till next year.
You're not able to like swap out the creamsicle decal on a pewter helmet.
No one wants to see that shit anyways. Nobody cares about the Bucs anyways. We always are talking Bucks in here.
You're talking about the fucking defending Super Bowl champions.
The Yucks.
Tone it down. Look at that. Yeah, what does that hat say, Brad?
The Yucks.
Super Bowl champs.
I can't read it.
Keyshawn Vaughn. Did you see Keyshawn Vaughn yesterday?
The Yucks, no run game.
Keyshawn Vaughn is going to rip through
secondary.
The NFC.
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Keyshawn Vaughn.
Our defense
5'8" and 170 pounds of him. Yeah, your defense is resting.
They're resting.
Yeah. They're also because they're
everybody
old,
doubted our defense before the playoffs last year. They said Vita Vea. I don't know if he's going to come back. Vita Vea comes back and fucking shreds the Packers line.
Well, we'll talk about that overpay later, but talk about overpaying for a player. Jesus, Tampa Bay.
I haven't looked at the contract, but you can't look at an NFL contract and really tell much from it until you look at the guaranteed money and how it's spaced out year by year.
Make some top five. Make some top 5 paid D tackle. He's not top 5 D tackle.
I don't know that. I don't know how much money of that is guaranteed. But when you look at like a Taysom Hill contract and say,
like
Taysom
43 million, I believe,
$100 million Taysom Hill contract. Really, it was a fucking $20 million contract.
But everybody even talked about how ridiculous that was right away. Not all contracts are that crazy. You're going to one extreme. Most are not that fucking weird.
All NFL contracts are basically 3-year contracts where if the team needs to, they can fucking move on from it.
All you can pay attention to is the anybody can get hurt. The guaranteed money in the cap hit. You got to look at the cap hit too. Yeah. Because that's the only other one. But
so. Well, if you think Vita Vea isn't worth it, then just, watch him again in the Super Bowl wrecking shit. That's all I can tell you, man.
He won't be there.
He did it last year.
It'll be Packers will be there again. It'll be okay.
Gotta beat my boy.
It's going to be all chalk, I think.
I'm taking Chiefs Bucks. You're saying all chalk by you would take Packers and Titans?
Yes.
Really?
Yep. With Derrick Henry back, I think people are like sleeping on that.
I don't mind that.
I don't think the Titans have quite enough, man. I haven't seen their defense do enough against good teams.
Well, here's my thinking. First of all,
they did it the whole year.
I think some of the good teams are going to get knocked off early. I think New England knocks off the Bills probably. With Bill getting another shot,
there's a chance.
Josh Allen, and then you look at the 4-5 seed, Cincy and Vegas. The way Vegas is, they could win. So all of a sudden, you got a couple of those, that 3-4 out. It's just, I think it's going to fall the right way for Tennessee. All we need is a big rainstorm, whoever they play that first week.
If I had to pick a team from either conference that say I'm going to bet money on a team from the AFC or the NFC to get to the Super Bowl, it'd be the Chiefs, because right now I just think they are a step above everybody in the AFC. Like, you bring the Titans, I would say the Bills are the biggest test for the Chiefs. I just don't really see enough with the Titans. I know they've had an impressive year without Derrick Henry. I just don't really see Tannehill
matchup for KC.
I don't really see Tannehill and AJ Brown being able to get it done against Kansas City.
No, I just see Derrick Henry running through them.
Yeah, but I mean, the Chiefs have beaten the Titans twice in the playoffs with Derrick Henry, haven't they? Hasn't Mahomes beaten the Titans twice?
Just more
including one, they were down 24-0.
Yeah.
Who do you like in the Super Bowl, Todd?
That game was at Arrowhead, Matt. So that was,
Well.
But I actually don't mind Cincy and Green Bay.
Cincy and Green Bay. That'd be fun. Yeah. It would be very fun.
And I'm saying that with that in mind. The Packers, I'm sticking with them because that's been my pick all year. I just don't see, I don't know. But sometimes it's when those teams go on a little stretch run that you're like, fuck, obviously no one saw it coming. And the Bills could do that because they have been in the playoffs and been in big games a lot now. And there's every narrative, all the narrative, whatever it's fucking called, everything's out there for them to lose to the Patriots. Do they play them in the first round?
Yeah.
Everything
I'd lean Bills on that one. I hear what you're saying, Brad, that there's a chance. This is the third time they've seen each other. But.
Yeah, and with Belichick, that's scary as fuck. But you're gonna see a division opponent no matter what, anyway. So they probably had watched enough film on the Bills.
It's just as a 3 seed, it's like so much for getting much of a favor. As the 3. It's you look on the other side of the NFC, and the Cowboys are getting the Niners.
Yeah,
it's just fuck, in the
I don't know. I'd be worried about the Niners too, though, dude.
The Rams, man, twice. Fuck, I don't know. That's
the Niners have beaten the Rams 5 times in a row.
It comes down to how long can Jimmy G play with that finger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he messes,
you can tell he was struggling with it.
Trey Lance is a clear. Yeah. He's solid, but he's a clear step down. You know what I mean? Because then Debo has to play running back more, and it just
Yeah, I don't. That one.
That's a tough draw on the first for the Bills. I feel like fuck.
Yeah, I mean it is
to win the division, and then you get to play your division foe for the third time.
But if you look at it, what else? What the fuck would you want? We can knock them out.
I agree.
And to get momentum, if you're
they're not thinking like I'm thinking. Yeah.
No, yeah. If you get that momentum after beating them in the playoffs, it's boom. All right, let's fucking go now. Then if the Titans were to lose, then it would have to go. Who's the 2 seed? KC or is it?
Yeah, Kansas City.
KC. Okay. Yep.
They're gonna lose to Pittsburgh anyway, so that won't matter.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'd give you 7-1 odds.
I'll take it.
Yeah, we know your history of betting.
Yeah. Honestly, I've been better late in the season. You know why I've been better, Brad? Instead of placing fucking 10 or 15 bets on Sunday, I place 2 or 3. And I bet way more money on the 2 or 3 bets.
Mind blowing.
Those are good bets. Advice, instead of just being I need to fill this fucking sheet of paper with all sorts of damn bets.
Yeah, dude, no.
And go crazy on it. Then I end up crossing all of them off by 3:30.
Right. Or if you want to do a shit ton of bets, go do prop bets. Go do little player props where one fuck up doesn't screw you for the whole weekend or day, I guess.
All right. Let's break here. And we'll come back. And when we start part 2, we'll do some college football championship talk. And then we'll get into trivia hosted by Brad this week.
There we go.
All right.
Coming for it.
Right on, Jimmy. Let's go.
Let's
go, man.
So you better get the party started.
Revenge.